Hallo, it's Dumplet here. Here's an item on geometry. Given a right triangle here with legs 1 and 2, we have an angle bisector here from this angle, and it is given to be of length x. Find the value of x squared. As usual, pause this video if you'd like to give this item a try, but if you're done, let us dive into the solution. Now there might be a lot of ways to solve this question, but Dumplet today is going to show you two methods, one using just a geometric approach and the other one using trigonometry, since we have a nice relationship here of angles probably that we can form. Alright, so let's try to do with the first method. Now method one is to consider the fact that we have an angle bisector, so we can use the angle bisector theorem. So in labeling the points, so we can kind of use the points to define the theorem. So let's just say ABC are the points or the vertices of the triangle, and then AD here bisects angle A. Then by the angle bisector theorem, AB over BD, that's going to be equal to AC over DC. So that's going to be the statement of the angle bisector theorem, and hopefully we can kind of use the angle bisector theorem to help us get what the value of y here is, because the intent we want to get y in this case because we know we can get x squared via Pythagorean in triangle ABD. So that is going to be our agenda, to solve for y and then use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for x. Now let's try to write down the stuff. We have AB to be 1, BD, let's just say it's y, DC, well, since the entire thing is 2, then obviously DC would have to be 2 minus y. Now AC is the problem. We don't know AC yet, but that's not of a big problem because AC, it's just the hypotenuse of this right triangle, so this would be equal to the square root of 1 squared plus 2 squared, and that's simply equal to square root of 5, so no problems here. Right, so we now have an equation here and we want to solve for y. Now we can kind of solve for y easily here. We're going to get 2 minus y. If we clear the denominators, 2 minus y would be equal to y square root 5. So 2 would be equal to y plus y square root of 5. I think I can factor out a 1 plus square root of 5 here. So I would get like y equals 2 divided by square root of 5 plus 1. Now that I have y equals 2 over square root of 5 plus 1, well, not really the prettiest of forms, so what we want to do here is to rationalize. So we're going to multiply square root of 5 minus 1 in the numerator and the denominator, because this would give us a very nice value in the denominator. The denominator just becomes 5 minus 1. Again, this is like an a plus b times a minus b scenario, so difference of squares. The result is technically a squared minus b squared. So that's why we have 5 minus 1 here. That's just simply equal to 4. And then in the numerator, we can write 2 square root of 5 minus 2. And we can simplify this to be square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 2. And that's going to be the rationalized or the simplest form of the value of y. So we now have y to be this. So as mentioned a while ago, we can get the value of x squared just by the Pythagorean theorem. So x squared would be equal to 1 squared plus this value of y squared that we got. So square root of 5 minus 1 over 2, the square of this one. So squaring this term is just going to be squaring the numerator. Now if I square the numerator, the square root of 5 minus 1, you can use the algebra technique. A minus b squared, that's technically equal to a squared minus 2ab, which is 2 times square root of 5 times 1, that's just 2 square root of 5, and then plus b squared, so then plus 1. That's how I got the 6 minus 2 square root of 5 from here. Alright, moving on, we have in the denominator, it's just 2 squared, so that's equal to 4. Now we can combine this into the thought now. So 1 plus 6 minus 2 square root of 5 over 4, that's going to be equal to 10 minus 2 square root of 5 over 4. That's the value of x squared. Again, just don't forget to simplify. We're going to get that the value of x squared is going to be 5 minus square root of 5 all over 2. Now, that's one way. And we can kind of get the value of y that we got here, the square root of 5 minus 1 over 2, via trigonometry. Now, we can use the fact that we have a trigonometric ratio using tangents. So we'll be able to get two values for tangents. Now, the first value of tangent theta, we're going to focus on triangle ABD. Now, tangent theta over here, that's going to become opposite over adjacent. That's simply equal to y over 1, which is just y. And then next in triangle ABC, I can get the tangent of 2 theta. So tangent of 2 theta would be opposite, which is 2, divided by adjacent, which is 1. So tangent 2 theta is just 2. Now, we have a nice identity for tangent 2 theta. Tangent 2 theta is, we'll just use double angle identity, 2 tangent theta divided by 1 minus tangent squared theta, and that's given to be 2 from our observation a while ago. And since we have tangent theta is y, I can substitute the tangent thetas to be y. So 2y over 1 minus y squared would be equal to 2. You're going to realize that it's going to be a quadratic equation scenario. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 minus y squared. That's going to give us 2y equals 2 minus 2y squared. And it's just a matter of solving for y. So I can put everything into one side, 2y squared plus 2y minus 2 equals 0. I can divide both sides by 2, y squared plus y minus 1 equals 0. That's not factorable, so we can try to use the quadratic formula. So negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We're going to get these two values for the possible values of y. Again, y is a distance, so I'm pretty sure we cannot have the negative root, because otherwise negative 1 minus square root of 5 over 2 is going to become negative. So we just consider the positive root, which is the same value of y that we got. Note that this was the value of y that we got, and they're just the same thing. Negative 1 plus square root of 5 over 2 is just the same as square root of 5 minus 1 divided by 2. And everything else is just going to be the same. I'll be using the value of y that I got and get x squared. So there we go. Nevertheless, even if you're going to use the angle bisector method or the trigonometric method, we will be getting the answer of x squared is 5 minus square root of 5 divided by 2. And this will be our final answer. Hopefully you guys learned something new from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!